And now it's time for Ask Rich and Ed, our bite-sized chunk of a podcast.
Ooh, nice. Bite-sized chunks. Like dog food.
We get a lot of listener questions, which we love to answer with insightful views and advice.
Ooh.
Let's see what questions we've got this time, Ed.
Well, Rich, will they be fatuous, insightful, or inane? Let's make it real.
Boom. This one is from Carmen Relaxed, who says, my company appears to be reducing its stance on its ESG policies. I, however, am really keen on sustainability. However, I do work for a munitions company. What's your advice, Ed?
We make things and kill people. Not a good starting point, really, is it? I don't think. If you're selling to the MOD in the UK, their expectation is you do have an ESG program, and probably 10% of the bid will relate to it. It's, I think, from a British and American perspective, given that they use depleted uranium in the pointy bits of their bullets and shells, because it penetrates armor better, but it leaves radioactive material on the battlefield. I think if you're really bothered about ESG, maybe that's not a sector to work in.
Similarly, for those people who work for British American Tobacco. Peter Smith put something on the other day on Linked Up about ESG, I think it was Accenture. An Accenture business had been dumped from his bid because they've reduced their ESG policy. They're still doing ESG, it's just they've decided that not to republish it or something.
Yeah, probably reacted to the US government, haven't they? Because it's all been DEI, diversity, exclusion, and so forth, have been diluted in the US, and I think it'd be the same with the SG. So companies will react to the market, won't they? But at the end of the day, why do companies pursue an ESG agenda? Well, there's two reasons, really, isn't it? It either makes things cheaper, i.e., they're cleaner, therefore they've got less waste or whatever, or they use less electricity, therefore their carbon footprint is less, which is a saving in itself, or their market demands it. So if you're a retailer, it's demanded of you, isn't it?
So Carmen, there you go. If you really believe in that sustainability stuff, then you need to probably look at the sector that really values it.
Not to say that defence companies don't value sustainability, but they are coming at it from a different position, aren't they? They're making things that can be sometimes defensive, but many defence companies make stuff that is about damaging and destroying things.
Good save, Ed. Next question, and this is from Dave Plummer. I'm in the middle of a stressful kitchen renovation. I'm not sure how to go about buying all the appliances I need, so I thought I'd ask Rich and Ed if they have any suggestions from the world of procurement.
No, it sounds too stressful to me.
That does. It sounds very stressful. I would suggest you get yourself somebody to do that for you. Just outsource it. Outsource the problem.
Yeah, I think if you're buying a new kitchen, if you're buying the kitchen, then I think it's not a bad idea when you buy it from the company that provides it to get them to offer to do everything and just get it as a bespoke job and then negotiate them down. I think a lot of the big kitchen suppliers get really good deals on their appliances because they've made deals with appliance providers. They're getting all sorts of kickbacks on their white goods, the fridge and the washing machine and all that. And I think that therefore you have some room to maneuver by negotiating with them. Also, then you're covered by the warranty and all the rest of it and the guarantee for the work and so on and so forth that are done. So I think it's not a bad move to look at a sort of turnkey solution, all in one from one provider. And of course, if you buy separate things, then warranties get destroyed because they say you've made a mistake or you put something together wrong. So I think if I was going for a kitchen renovation, I think I'd get one provider to do everything for me and then negotiate with them, as opposed to trying to buy all the bits and bobs myself.
So there you are, Dave. I agree with that in its entirety.
Ooh, harmony,
as they say.
Yes.
Yes. Go for the turnkey package.
Yeah.
Rather than trying to deal with lots of different tradespeople wandering in and out.
Just one thing to say, just on the kitchen buying stuff, is that you're probably going to have to sign a contract. We haven't touched on that, but they won't move on the contract. So you're going to have to sign it as is. I wouldn't worry unduly about those agreements. In law, you're broadly protected as a consumer. So if there's something terrible in the agreement, you could probably get a lawyer to argue against it. But generally speaking, the suppliers don't want to screw you over.
And this one is from Dick Necker in London. I have a supplier who is on a 2-year contract with us, A routine check discovered that the supplier went into administration a couple of months ago, but said nothing to us. Subsequently, we have contacted the supplier and they have acknowledged that they were in receivership, but they've now been bought by a third party and have continued to supply the service uninterrupted. They also now want payment for their continuing service. We're now in year 2 of the contract. On checking our payments to them, we appear to have mistakenly paid them the full amount upfront for both years, which they also acknowledge, but they say that unfortunately that money is no longer available as that was paid to the old company, not the new owners. What should Dick do?
Well, Dick, seems you're in a bit of a dilemma.
Bit of a disaster.
What Dick hasn't done is tell us what it is that he's buying and how important it is to the business. I think the first question is, do you need this service? Can it be sourced from somebody else? The first step is that you go to the supplier and say, no, we paid you. You've gone into receivership. Your business has changed. If you want us to continue with us into year 3, you need to honour the service. So if you want us to remain a customer in the medium to long term, you need to give us year 2 for free, because in our view, we've already paid for it. Hopefully they'll be compliant and go, yeah, okay. And maybe you put in front of them some sniff of a new contract or whatever for year 3, 4, so you give them some incentive. So I think that's a starting point. So you don't want to be adversarial about it. You just want to get to a solution. But if they're saying, no, you've got to pay for year 2 again, my first thought is, no, I'm not doing that. I'm going to walk away, because my contract isn't with you, the new entity. And if there's any form of contract in place, they invariably, 99.9% of the contracts will say that the contract can be cancelled if the business fails. So that's typical in almost every contract I've ever seen, is that cancellation for cause is liquidation or receivership.
It also seems as if they've novated the contract to this new owner as well, haven't they? They've novated it to the new entity because they've continued operating the service, even though it's a different entity. So there's a whole muddle of legal issues in here. Whether
if they've novated it and you've signed the novation, then obviously you've committed yourself, and it depends what you've written into it in terms of what the scenarios for year 2.
I assume they haven't done that. The third party has bought it. They've taken over the service. They've not told the customer. They've just carried on delivering the service.
Well, I think you say no.
Yeah.
The only challenge around that is the criticality of the service, isn't it?
Yeah.
But if it's a critical service and you really must have it, then my view would be ultimately perhaps you'll have to pay for year 2 to maintain the service. But what you have to do is move to a different supplier.
Yeah. Dick, I'd get out to the market. Let's see what else is available there. Maybe put a short-term contract in place with this existing supplier, but with termination for convenience, and get out as quickly as you can, because they can't be trusted. So that's it. That's the questions for this time, Ed. They were exciting, weren't they?
Oh, yes. Very, very good. Super. Bye-bye.
Ta-ta!